Welcome to another exciting episode of Musa and Show. Here is what we have today.
Sanibona, udaba lebhajethi luyinkinga ngoba noma kuthiwa siyazama ukuligwema kangakanani ekugcineni kosuku lizosithinta sonke. Enye into-ke enqanisayo ukwenza amavidiyo nje ukuthi awanawo amanamba amaningi kodwa into enza ukuthi ngenze le video noma ngingeke ngithole ama-views lawa amaningi njengoba usuke ukhuluma iy'ndaba lezi ey'suke ziphumile ey'thize ukuthi kubalulekile ukuthi noma singazikhuluma ukuthi usibanibani wenzeni, usibanibani utheni ngobani, kodwa sibuye sikhulume ngalento ezithinta iy'mpilo zethu. Ngoba ekugcineni kosuku ukukhuluma ngama-political parties nepolitiki yawo akusizi ngalutho. Asikhulume ngale ethinta iy'mpilo zethu. Okunye futhi engifisa ukukucacisa phambi bangingene, akungoba ngithanda i-EFF ukuthi sengize ngenza ividiyo yesi-3 ye-EFF odabeni lwebhajethi ukuthi i-EFF i-vocal. Ayimile iyakhuluma odabeni lebudget. Amanye ama-political parties awakhulumi njenge-EFF odabeni nje lebudget. Angeke ngenze umzekelo. MK Party igcina ukukhuluma ngoLwesihlanu njengoba beyihlangene i-committee njengoba bekuhlangene eParliament. Igcine lapho ukukhuluma odabeni oluthinta ibudget. So ngenzela labantu abafila sengathi ngibias ngibheke kakhulukazi EFF ukuthi EFF ivocal noma ubona nje ku screen sakho into abayikhiphile yona le befundisa abantu betshela abantu ukuthi le fuel levy efakwa uminister inamthelela muni empilweni zabo. Ngenzela sikuqonde lokho indaba ezitrendayo zikhona. Ngifuna sithi sizikhava kodwa singakushiyi nalokho okubalekile okuzothinta impilo zethu. Sizongena kodabeni kodwa ngithe nje ngaphambi singene odabeni lolu EFF ngoba ngibone i-interview kaSinawo Thambo, ngabona futhi ne-interview ka-Treasurer General ku-Omphile Mawutwe. Ngibone uSongezo Zibi oyi-leader ye-Rise Mzansi. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi i-Rise Mzansi political party yakhe. Ushinto ezibalekile kakhulu engicabanga ukuthi ngizoqala ngaye bese singena ke kulodaba lwe-EFF. Cela uzwe la.
So one of the more difficult things about this process of budgeting this year has been the fact that nobody has been talking about what the money is going to be spent on. And budgeting is about spending. It's about what the priorities are, what are we going to spend money on, and therefore where are we going to get the money? Is it through borrowing or is it through taxes? So let me try and have a bit of that conversation briefly. So for us, the process started with a list of things that we wanted to be catered for in the budget. Because obviously when you campaign, you go around and you say, this needs sorting, that needs sorting, that needs sorting, etc. All of these things cost money. So let me just talk about some of the things that we thought were important. I met unemployed doctors in Durban during the campaign, and I promised that I would fight for them to get employment. It's doctors and nurses, obviously. It's not just for them, but it's also for the community, because when people go to a public health facility, there needs to be a doctor there needs to be qualified nurses with the requisite equipment and so on. That's now been provided for in the budget. The amount is about 29 billion over the next 3 years. The second thing that people have been complaining about is the retrenchment of teachers. So we said to the finance minister, this needs attention. It needs to be catered for in the budget. I think there's between 17 and 19,000 teachers that are now going to keep their jobs as a result. That costs money. Then we also said that people need to be able to produce their own food. And one of the things in the rural areas that makes life difficult for people in as far as producing their own food is that there is no water that they can use. People have to go to the river and so on. It's just difficult. It's impossible. And people end up relying on social grants, not because they are lazy. They can do these things themselves, but you need money for that. There's about 140 billion over the next 3 years that has been set aside for that. So that also needs to be paid for. And then there's our road infrastructure. It's terrible. There's about 420 billion that's going to go into road infrastructure over the next 3 years. Then, while I was in Parliament, I went on an oversight visit to see metro rail facilities. They've been terrible. They've been trying to fix them, but one of the biggest shortages is the fact that they don't have signaling equipment, which means trains cannot move often enough on the same line because they might collide with one another. So it's the electronic system that is going to help to get more trains, because people complain the trains are too slow, there are too few trains at peak time, and the taxi costs 2 times or more than what you would otherwise pay on a train. So it's important that people have safe, reliable public transport that is really cheap. That's 19 billion over the next 3 years. So I can go on and on. Look, there are also things we didn't get. We wanted more money for Transnet so that we can clear the truck backload on our roads, begin to grow the economy and so on. We couldn't get a cent for that. We're still not happy. So it's very difficult then when the finance minister says, let's talk about where the money is going to come from, that we do this and say, no, we don't want to listen, we don't want to talk, right? So that's important to understand, that we placed a list of things we said are important on the table. And the number one priority is to make sure that there's enough money given for those things. There are other things that we wanted. We wanted sports facilities for schools, etc., etc. We couldn't get those things. So you take some wins, you lose some, and so on. But then comes the issue of where the money is going to come from. Let me explain where the money goes. Do you remember Kiss Veta last week? I think it was Monday or Tuesday. He published that SARS raised about 1.855 trillion. 91% of that money, 91% of that money goes to only 3 things. One, it's salaries for public servants, excluding municipalities. The second is social grants. The third is paying interest on debt. Public sector salaries, 823 billion. Social grants, 440 billion, including the administration thereof. And then you get repayments on debt. Repayments on debt amount to 8.5 billion rand per week, or 424 billion per year. So those 3 things. And all the money that Kisveta collected, gone. Only 167 billion is left, which is too little. So that's before you've bought any goods and services. By goods, I mean medical equipment, medication, books for school kids, fixing roads, fixing railways, and so on. And so we end up borrowing. We owe over 5.2 trillion rand right now. That's why we are paying 8.5 billion rand per week. You've got to ask yourself, do I want us to borrow more so that we're paying 10, 11 billion per week, which is going to bankrupt the country, or we can't afford that? So that's number one. Number two, do you want budget cuts? In other words, out of the 1,000 doctors that are going to be employed, how many must remain on the street? Is it 200, 300, 400? So you have to make those decisions. How many teachers do you want to be retrenched? Do we want people to continue to go without trains when they are so cheap and so on? You got to make all of these calculations, and these calculations are not easy. So when on the one hand, people like myself are insisting that these things get paid for, it's irresponsible for me to say, I don't want to talk about where the money is going to come from. Don't talk to me about that, because then these things cannot happen. All that will happen is that the finance minister will simply strike those things off the list, and then we will become unhappy again. So those are some of the decisions involved in the budget.
Ningakhulu akushilo la sonke ezozibi we Rise Mzansi kuningakhulu akushilo, kodwa ke ngicabanga ukuthi nje uMadumuzo okuhamba phambili kimi ungikhumbuza inkulumo yasho ubaba uMwele Tsimbeki ethi ama public servants ase South Africa ahola imali eningi. Mawucompare iSouth Africa namanye amazwe adevelopayo, ama public servants ahola up to 16% ye-GDP. Because umuntu mawucabanga nje ukuthi labantu abalapha eParliament bathola 100,000 more than plus 100,000 per month, of which it's about 1.4 million per year for umuntu oyi-1. So iminingi imali, njengoba ethi 91% emali ecollectwa ku-collectwa yi-SARS ikhokhela ama-social grants, interest esikweletu kanye nama-public servants, 91%. Kodwa iphuzo athi abantu funa bangalibalekeli lo mbuzo othi le mali izovelaphi. Zikhumbula ukuthi njengoba uminister ethu ufuna ukukhuphula iVAT, wayenzama indlela zokuthi ethi la kuzovela khona imali. Namanje nje befuna ukukhuphula i-fuel levy ilathi kufuna kuvela khona imali. Kodwa i-EFF iwalethile ama-suggestion ukuthi imali ingavela kuphi. Iwalethile ama-suggestion. Ngeshwa-ke akafunanga ukwathatha uminister. Eyokuqala nje ukuthi i-wealth tax, i-corporate tax yayiwu-29%, i-government yethu yayibuyisela emuva yaba u-27%. Kuthiwa ayibuyiselwe ku-29%. Kodwa u-government wethu is not willing ukwenza lokho. Okwesibili kuthiwa introduce wealth tax. Government wethu is not willing futhi ukwenza lokho. Bese kuthiwa aka-introduce i-apartheid yalabantu laba ababenefita ka-apartheid. Kube yi-once off. Nabo aba-tax angenza imali eningi. But u-government wethu is not willing. So ngiyafisa sizizwe lento eyikhulunywayo. Sazi ukuthi kwenzakalani. Kodwa i-EFF imile ekuthenini akwazi ugovernment ukuthi angathi usolve inkinga ekhona ngokucindezela abantu abahluphekayo. Ngizocaphuna-ke uSinawo Thambo, emveni kwakhe bese ngicaphuna uTreasurer General oku-Omphile Mawutwe. Ngicela uzwe la.
Parliament is holding public hearings on the budget and fiscal framework, but the EFF is raising alarm over the timing of the fuel levy increase, saying it will kick in before Parliament votes on the budget. The party says this undermines both public participation and constitutional processes.
So the Minister of Finance says that the fuel levy is set to take effect on the 4th of June 2025. This Standing Committee on Finance will consider the fiscal framework and revenue proposals on the 3rd of June and the 4th of June 2025. By the time we sit to consider whether we adopt the fiscal framework and revenue proposals and your inputs as stakeholders, the fuel levy will already be in effect. The Parliament of South Africa, the National Assembly, will sit on the 11th of June 2025 to consider whether we as parliamentarians support this budget or not. By that time, the fuel levy will already be in effect. So let's take into consideration and reflect as to of what meaningful or credible impact will any inputs as it relates to the fuel levy by you as stakeholders mean when the parliamentary process is futile in relation to the effect of the fuel levy which takes place on the 4th of June 2025 as well. This shows you the undermining of your participation as stakeholders and the undermining of parliament as the will of the people. So it's an important point to make. I find the defensiveness around it unnecessary. Let us be realistic. Political consensus is trumping constitutional democracy and public participation. We need to review it. We need to review its role. We need to perhaps review the powers of Treasury and ensure that we utilize the Money Bills Act to effect amendments to the fiscal framework and revenue proposals and do so in time before we face unnecessary litigation and perhaps the failing of this third budget as well.
Nawo Thambo la usivezela ukuthi uminister uthe le fuel levy fune ikhuphe ngomhla ka4 kanti ngomhla ka3 nomhla ka4 ila khona i-Standing Committee on Finance obesihleli khona kodwa uyothi bekhuluma ukuthi baye amenda i-fiscal framework noma bayamkele njengoba injalo ngaleso sikhathi izobe already seyikhuphukile le fuel levy okungukuthi upetrol uzokhuphuka, diesel uzokhuphuka, lokho kuzo affect ama price, ugcina kwenza ukuthi izinto zidure. So ibalekile lento ekhulunywa la. Ukhumbula ukuthi ngiqale ngafaka usongezo zibi. Oqale wakuveza ukuthi kufanele abantu bacabanga ukuthi imali izobuyaphi. Kodwa i-EFF imile ekuthenini angeke ukuthi usolve inkinga ngokuthi uthathe umthwalo ubeke phezulu kwabantu abahluphekayo. Ngithi nje angikwazise lezi socaphuna Omphile Mawutwe manje siza ukuthi i-EFF ihleli ukwenzani ngamayelana nalolu daba emveni kwakhe bese siyivala ivideo.
Thank you very much, Francis. Good evening to the viewers at home. We are opposed to the fuel levy increase, Francis, because it is going to put South Africans, the poor people in the main, in worse off conditions. So, but that's one. Number two, so there are two issues here. We reject the fuel levy increase, but also we reject the manner in which the minister is attempting to table it. So maybe let's deal with the legality before you come to the economic injustice of introducing this fuel levy. So when you look at the law, the Constitution is very clear. Section 77 of the Constitution, subsection 1, it's very clear on what needs to happen to the national tax that gets levied to everybody. A tax that is of a general application to everyone. It's contained in Constitution subsection 77, section 77, subsection 1. And in subsection 2, it clearly states that that tax needs to follow a parliamentary process. So the minister is an executive. For him to attempt to bring a tax which is supposed to follow the legislative process is an overreach on the part of the minister. And that's what he even tried with the VAT increase.
Yeah.
The minister's got no
But
power.
haven't levies been increased or decreased before many times in this country by finance ministers?
They have. But that doesn't make it right. The same way with the VAT increase that has been increased before. We went to court and the court said no. So we are challenging it and are going to challenge it to its success, Francis.
Okay.
So what the minister is relying on, he's relying on the case of the Constitutional Court. There are two cases in the Constitutional Court where the Constitutional Court made a ruling. One was the Mark Shuttleworth case where he wanted to move money from South Africa. And the court said the minister has got the right to do a regulatory amendment to allow for 10% of any money that gets moved. That's one. The second case is the New Africa case, where the court said the minister's got the right to regulate on the alcohol that is sold at the airports. So that falls under customs and taxes duties. But this one, customs duties, sorry. This one is not a duty, a regulation.
All right.
This one is a tax that needs to be brought before a parliamentary process, a legislative process, which the minister has not done.
So will you be going to court?
Come again?
Will you be taking this to court?
We will be taking it to court. We've written to the Minister of Finance. We've written to the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Finance. We've written to the Speaker to alert everybody to say what is currently happening. It's wrong. The minister does not have powers. And we are just waiting for the minister because the minister wants to introduce it through a regulation. You can't introduce a national tax that is going to apply to everybody, irrespective of whether you are rich or you are poor, you are wealthy or not, through a regulation. It must follow a parliamentary process. So we're waiting for him to gazette, because we're saying the minister can't just wake up in the morning and gazette. Once the gazette is out, then we know that the minister indeed wants to implement the fuel increase on the 4th of June, and that's when we're going to go to court.
Ngobomozwa-ke nawe uTreasurer General we-Economic Freedom Fighters ebeka ukuthi babhalele iParliament balazisa nanokuthi bamkhumbuza ukuthi uMinister funeka wazi amandla akhe futhi bazimisele nanokuthi lolu daba bayoluchallenge ecourt as i-EFF. Kodwa nje kufanele silindeke sizwe ukuthi bazothini nane portfolio committee on finance. Kodwa nje into ebuhlungu uma kungase kwenzeke uthola ukuthi le budget abayemukeli ngomhla kabani 11 na, if I'm not mistaken, lapho iyohlala khona iParliament. Uma uthola ukuthi abayemukeli fune phoqa ukuthi uMinister kwayiqala phansi kuzobe sekusetshenziswa u10% webudget angonyaka ophelile. Usho ukuthi khona izinto ezobe bengasakwazi ukuzikhokhela njengama social grant nokunye. So funeka iParliament bayilungise kahle lolu daba. Futhi uma beyi-amenda baziveze ezinye indlela uMinister angakwazi ukuraise imali ngazo. Kodwa kubuhlungu ukuthi lezi abasuggestile ezo3 yokuthi kube khona apartheid tax, wealth tax kanye bakhuphula i-corporate tax akazimisele ngokwenza lokho. So asazi sizozwa khona, kodwa bengithi angulethele le video uze uthi kwenzakalani, ngoba lezi zinto uMinister uzikhulumile njengoba bethu uthe ngomhla ka4 June ifuna iqala ikhuphuke le i-fuel levy ngo4%.
The minister projected a growth of 1.8 just last month. He has reversed it down to 1.4 now. We're sitting in a country where there are high levels of unemployment, there are high levels of poverty. The government is unable to shield the poor from this high cost of living. The cost of living is going to go high even more because This is a consumption-based tax. You and I, whether we like it or not, is going to affect us. Why? Because that bakery bread that carries bread from the town to the village now has to pay more for fuel. That truck that transports the vegetables from the farm to go into town or into the villages now needs to pay more fuel. They will not absorb that cost. Not the cost. That is the cost that they're going to pass over to the consumers.
However, Ms. Matwe, we've reporting this very evening that petrol, despite the increases, is going to go down in June.
But I'm saying to you, remember, petrol price is made up of 3 items: is the fuel levy, is the retailer value levy, and then the wholesale value. If any one of them goes up at any time, and by the way, the wholesale and the retailer does not depend on the minister. The industry can just wake up and increase that tax, that fuel levy, that levy. Now, that is directly going to go into the pockets of me and you, the poor people. The taxi industry has already said, if this goes ahead, they will have no choice but to increase their taxi fares. That will also happen to the buses. That will also happen to any means of transport that is transporting any goods from any point to point A to point B. That, I can tell you now, those companies will not absorb that cost. That cost is going to go into the pockets of poor people. The third thing, Francis, is that we are in a situation where National Treasury is refusing to deal with the bracket creep. So the bracket creep means that if your employer adjusts your salary to be in line with inflation of 4.5% as an example, and that actually pushes you on the upper bracket, you're going to be taxed more. So there is that silent tax on the workers that nobody's talking about it. Now you got a fuel levy, which is a general application tax on everybody irrespective of your economic standing. And then those two issues will definitely make the cost of living to go high. Inflation will go high. People will, as it is right now, 18.2 million people are dependent on the grants.
All right.
Those people will now have to pay more for bread, for paraffin, for mealie meal, for chicken, for everything. And they will not be able to afford.
Beku Treasurer General where EFF obekhuluma la ebala izinto lezi athi bazochallenge ekakhulukazi njengoba ikhona ibudget. Kodwa mawukhumbula ivideo kaSongezo Zibi, kukho konke lokho uthi akufanelanga abantu bakubalekela ukuthi imali izovelaphi. So ngicabanga ukuthi uSongezo Zibi uyayisupport indaba yokukhuphuka kwe-fuel levy. Okwesibili le tax bracket creep akhuluma ngayo omphile la. So uyayisupporta ngoba uthe sekwenzekile konke kufuneka kubheka ukuthi imali izovelaphi. Ayisabanga bikho indaba ye-value tax okuyi-VAT ebebezoyikhuphula ngoba nayo ibizokwenza ukuthi bathole more. Kodwa uminister ubona ukuthi ngcono akhuphule i-fuel levy anga-adjust ne-tax bracket creep ukuthi ayenze ukuthi ingabi above inflation. Njobe ekhala nje umawuthi ukuthi kwayona leyo izonza ukuthi abantu abasebenzayo ba-taxwe more. Sake sayichaza ngelinye ilanga kwenye amavideo leyo ukuthi yenzeka kanjani. Angicabanga ukuthi la ngingaphinde ngiyichaze futhi. Uma ngathiwa ngiyayichaza ngizobe sengiyichaza okwesithathu. Uthi lokho usho ukuthi usazotaxa more futhi abantu. Uzothi abantu betaxiwe bakhokhe kakhulu. Uthi futhi abama-taxi bathe uma upetrol ungasukhuphuka manje ngeke babe na choice kodwa bazophoqeleka ukuthi bawakhuphule ama-taxi. So uthi lento izoba ne-impact kubantu abahluphekileyo. Ile-levy le bengithi ngikulethele yona. Ingakho bethi bona njenge-EFF bazothatha iy'nyathelo uma kuphoqa ukuze bazoya enkantolo ukuyozama ukuthi balwisane nale nto le. Kodwa-ke ngiyafisa ngelinye ilanga uminister akawazame nalama recommendation avela nama-political parties. Ngoba hayi ukuthi lama-political parties aphikisana nento esuke isho uminister abayivezi nayo alternative ukuthi imali izovelaphi. Kodwa nje uminister esikhuluma ngaye wake wathi I negotiate budget. Lokho asuke kubekile. Kufanele sazi ukuthi still no minister onjalo wathi I negotiate budget. So sizozwa ngabo ukuthi bahlela kanjani. Ngekudala nje bazobe behlele eParliament. Sozwa ngabo siza ukuthi bona bathini. Emveni kwayo yonke lento le bazosithatha isinqumo. Noma isiphi isinqumo esothatha lapho sozi-affect impilo zethu ingakho ngithe le ndaba yebudget singayibukela kude nje kodwa akusisi ngoba ekugcineni kosuku izobe ithinta thina sonke. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Mina nawe asidibane kwivideo elandelayo. Ngiyacela ukuze ukuphawula kwakho, comment, ushare, ulike.